Hello, Legacy enjoyers. Today I've got a fun one for you. I am playing the Saturday Night Legacy Challenge with none other than Esper Stoneblade in 2024. Yeah, that's cool. So the reason I'm doing this is because Magic Online finally got the Fallout set onto the client, and so I'm playing Pre-War Formalwear, which is a staple of D&T these days. It's a pretty busted card. What it does is it essentially allows you to, when it ETBs, it unearths a creature from your graveyard, like reanimates with CMC3 or less, and attaches the Pre-War Formalwear to it. And then that creature gets +2/+2 and Vigilance. Why is this so good? Well, we know how crazy Psychic Frog is, right? And how it's kind of a kill on sight card. Turns out it also has CMC2. So Stoneforge, Snapcaster, Tamiyo, these all get reanimated through Pre-War Formalwear, allowing this deck to have a ton of extra grinding power. And then beyond that, it's just a really classic Esper Stoneblade deck. You've got 4 Swords to Plowshares and 2 Prismatic Endings as our removal spells. I've got the 8 cantrips that we know and love. Let me organize it this way. There we go. And then I've got the 4 Psychic Frogs, 2 Snapcaster Mages, the 4 Stoneforge Mystic, and then for extra disruption, I have the 2 Thoughtseizes. I brought the Tamiyos before. Then I have 2 Teferis in order to bounce Chalices, big creatures, bounce Pre-War Formalwear to regain its ability again. 2 Jace the Mind Sculptor. Red, like Pyroblast, is kind of at a low right now, especially in fair blue decks. So I feel like Jace has some potential right now. I'm going to try it. I love Jace the Mind Sculptor. I want to see if he's actually playable right now. Then 4 Force of Will, a Cauldron, and a Batterskull to round out the equipment package. Over in the sideboard, I have the MH3 Better Pernicious Deed, Wrath of the Skies. And then I have 3 Consigned Memories, a Null Rod, and 2 Harbinger of the Seas as kind of means to respect the Eldrazi deck and then respect the Mystic Forge deck. Lavinia is kind of a good anti-combo card in general. 2 Force Negations, anti-combo, anti-control. 2 Hydroblast because Red Stompy is good right now, Painter is good right now, what have you. Ghost Vacuum is for, the Reanimator decks, Painter, anything using the graveyard or super grindy. Ghost Vacuum is a great card. So yeah, we're playing 2011 decks in 2024 in the Legacy Challenge. I'll see you for round 1. Hello, we're against Capricioso, who I believe is like Dom Harvey or something, so tough opponent, but hopefully we're able to get it there. Keep this hand, it's solid. It's got a Thoughtseize, Teferi, Jace, Force of Will. What's not to love? I'm thinking that I play this hand completely off of basics. Deck has 4 basics in it, 2 islands, plains, and a swamp. And so I can go like swamp, island, plains here. And so that allows me to basically curve out and not get wastelanded or bloodmooned. Opponent's got a wide range of decks that they play, so no way to pin them down just yet. The Thoughtseize will do that though. So let's fetch and find the snow-covered swamp. Thoughtseize. And what do we see? Okay, so opponent is on Froginator, and even though they have Entomb, Reanimate, and a Force backup, I think my plan is to take the Entomb, and then I will just try to battle through the rest. So I'm going to likely get Thoughtseize on this turn 1, or potentially if he's feeling safe, he's going to go with a Ponder here off a basic island. It depends if he thinks he's going to get wastelanded or not. Underground Sea, yeah, so not afraid of Wasteland, and going for the Ponder though. That's the safer play when you're not expecting to get wasted, which I don't play any Wastelands in this deck because playing the 3-color Stoneblade deck with a lot of mana requirements means that to have something remotely stable, I can't be wasting time and money, or time and mana, with stuff that doesn't tap for colors. So Frog coming in. Let's see if Frog gets forced. It'd actually be kind of nice if it does, because my opponent then reanimates. Then I would be able to Teferi bounce it to my hand. But we'll see. Okay, the Frog has resolved. That's even better. Kind of. Maybe. Just to say. Okay, now I'm getting Thoughtseize, I presume? No, I'm getting Fatal Pushed. That's okay. Because now the reanimate probably comes in. Come down to reanimate my frog. No, it's just a surveil land. Thoughtseize in the yard. Okay, so now I'm going to get a basic plains. And then I'm going to play Teferi. And this will have to get forced, and I'm going to force back because otherwise I can get Thoughtseized and then reanimated, and then I'm in a rough spot. Let's get that basic plains. Teferi, and then, yeah. One's going to force, I'm going to force back. Yep. And then I'll tick up with the Teferi. Okay, the force battle resolved in my favor. Teferi is going up. And then we pass. So that means if my frog gets reanimated, I get to bounce it to my hand, so that's no longer on the table for my opponent. It might Thoughtseize me and find this land also, which would be quite convenient. Okay, Psychic Frog of their own. Seems very reasonable. One too many lands for me. I think I'm going to do some surveilling before I draw, so that I can try to set up my draw step with Teferi. And I'll do it off of a duplicate white, like double white as opposed to double black. So blue-white tap land. I think opponent might be double queuing, by the way, since they're taking these long pauses at very frequent spots. I'm trying to pause the recording and unpause so that you don't get bored, but I'm getting a little bored by it. I'd like to play faster. Okay, so yeah, getting the Meticulous Archive. And yeah, I want a frog. So then I bounce opposing frog, play my own frog, and pass. Very good. Opponent Thoughtseizes me, finds a whole load of nothing, then plays their own frog again. Nope, pushing my frog. Okay. Then reanimating my frog? That would make the most sense. Yeah. Okay, so my frog has been reanimated. Brainstorm, that's a nice draw. So once this resolves, I will look at my options and see how I can get this frog either back to my hand or something like that. At the very least, off the table. Okay, I found my own frog and another brainstorm, which is what I think I'm going to do. So I'll put, let's see here, frog and... So I could fetch this away and then brainstorm again, but I think frog is pretty good. So yeah, I'll put this here, I'll put brainstorm on top. And then I'll play out the psychic frog, I'll plus the Teferi, and I'll see if maybe I can motivate my opponent to not attack. Yep, they're coming in at Teferi. So I could block and force them to discard both cards. I think I actually do that because then I can bounce this frog back to my hand. Yeah, block. Yeah, because Teferi's at 3 loyalty now, so worst case scenario, I'm able to get this frog back to my hand after they pitched both cards to beat my frog in combat. Let's see if they're going to go that way about it. Nope, they let the frogs bounce off of each other because they saw that coming. Yep, psychic frog. Okay, so now let's brainstorm. Or maybe I bounce this frog back to my hand first because it draws a card before I brainstorm so I can dig deeper. And dig deeper we did. Okay, so we found a Tameo, a force, a frog. I will keep Tameo force in hand, put Flooded Strain on top. Then I can play, I guess I can attack with this frog first. Then I can play the second frog. I can play out land, play second frog. And then next turn, before these frogs connect, I can play out Tameo, so she flips. And that'll put me in a really commanding spot. I can also surveil on end step to get more card selection coming into my next turn, since I know I don't want the land on top of my library. I haven't seen very much Stoneblade yet, but Esper Frog has proven to be a frog deck. Okay, so petty theft. This one's kind of annoying because if I let it happen, they get a borrower and they connect with this frog. So let's surveil first before I make a decision on whether or not to force this. It's very likely that I do just force of will this brazen borrower. But I gotta check the top of my library because if it's like a really clean answer to all of this, then I'm not going to worry about it. Undercity sewers. Brainstorm. That's actually kind of as clean as you can get. I'm gonna let this bounce happen now. Because I want to go Tamiyo Brainstorm. Here we go. Frog is bounced back to hand. Jumped into my hand just like that. Ribbit. An opponent's frog connects. And they have decisions to make. Maybe. Let's see what their last card in hand is. What they just drew. They drew a ponder, so they drew card selection. That's nice for them. They chose to shuffle, drew a random card. It was a wasteland. So now they're choosing how to wasteland me. They wasteland the black, so I don't have double black. Seems fine. So I'll attack with Psychic Frog first because this is my second draw step for the turn. So I don't need to worry about flipping or not flipping the Tamiyo just yet. So then I can play Tamiyo. I can Brainstorm, which will flip her. I can put back 2 lands. That's too many lands. Flip aforementioned Tamiyo, plus her. Play this, get a second black source. Go blue, black, play out frog, pass the turn. Okay, so now I'm up a frog, up a Tamiyo, and up a force plus blue card on my opponent. So very far ahead in this game. And in order to deal any damage to this frog, they have to discard a card because I already Tamiyo plussed. Alright, opponent's brainstorming. That's fine by me. And they conceded off the brainstorm, not finding anything they could use. Okay, so into the sideboard, Ghost Vacuums are an easy add. Really, that's about it. Now, as far as cards I don't want, the whole main deck was kind of constructed with Froginator in mind, so all these cards are pretty good. Prismatic Ending is probably the weakest since it really only hits Frog. I guess it can hit Barrogoyf as well, kind of, for 3. But I think it's still probably the worst card in here. I do want the forces because I don't know how heavy they're going to be on the reanimation plan. And so I'm just going to cut the endings and add in the Ghost Vacuums. It's worth noting that Prismatic Ending does like hit Animate Dead as well as Frog, but I think that it's still probably the worst card in the deck that we're looking at here. Like, I want pretty much everything you see. With the exception of if they cut the entire reanimation plan, I don't want all these forces. But I don't know if they're going to do that yet. Oh, and while I'm waiting for my opponent to finish sideboarding, if you do enjoy my weekly competitive legacy content and want to see more of it, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. It would really help me help me grow. The algorithm enjoys subscriptions and growth. Exponential growth. That's what CFOs love. And CFOs tell the algorithm guys how to algorithm, so you know it's all exponential growth all the way. All right, so opponent boarded up to 61. Always a good sign. And this hand seems good, I think. It's got either 2 forces or a force pitch force with double frog. So I'll keep it. Opponent's going to 6. Okay. And here we are. Underground Sea Ponder. So maybe light on lands, but again, I can't really punish that. I'm honestly a little light on lands myself. I saw a Wasteland game 1, so I know I can't sidestep that completely. So very likely that I'm going to fetch in Undercity Sewers with this and do a surveil to try to find a third land / white source. And then turn 2 a frog, turn 3 a Teferi or a Formalwear or what have you. Opponent's fetching. 2 Underground Seas. Frog. Frog. Okay, that's, I think, fine, but let's fetch first. So, Undercity Sewers. Ghost Vacuum. I think that's a keep. To keep if I force to protect this frog, which I guess I will do that now. So we go frog. I have double force, double pitch if I need to. First one's probably force pitch to fairy, and the second one's probably force pitch frog. Yeah, so I'll force this pitching to fairy. And we'll see if there's maybe another removal spell. Or what? Okay, so far, is opponent going to attack? Okay. I'll play the game. Block. Let's do it. This is always fun. Frog chicken, basically. Discard frog. What if I discard frog? This is very funny. Or at least to me it is. Yeah, we're just playing chicken with each other. So opponent's stopping the chicken here. I'll agree to that. I'm not going to discard deeper either. I really want the Formalwear to bring this frog back, and I want Ghost Vacuum to handle my opponent's graveyard. So what do we have here? Reanimate their frog. Okay. Yep, I can't stop that as much as I would like to. Okay, then wastelanding me again. I don't like that very much. This land, I think, is quite good. Let's see here. Do I want to start eating my opponent's graveyard off of letting things fly? I don't think I need to do that yet. I can just attack with this frog. Connects, great. So if I draw like a plow or something. Stoneforge, that's also quite good. So I'll get a basic plains. And I guess I'll get a Cauldron. Seems like it has a knack for ending the game. Favorably, in my favor, mind you. And my opponent will draw a card more than me on this coming turn, but hopefully I'm still going to be in a commanding enough position with these guys that I can outrace it. Because Cauldron's really tough for them to beat, right? They'd have to Brazen Borrower, like Petty Theft the token. So opponent can attack with both, because I can't really block. Yeah, I'm not blocking. So they draw 2 cards. Again, not ideal. And see what the second main phase has in store for us. Thoughtseize, okay, so it's going to take the Cauldron, probably. But then I can still Pre-War Formalwear this frog back into play at will, so that would be really cool. Yeah, so that's, like, obviously the frog with +2/+2 is very strong, and then Vigilance is great, because just being able to attack, deal damage, and then hold back to block is going to really take control of this board. Okay, opponent took the Cauldron, now they're pondering, probably trying to find, I don't know, something good. They shuffled, so they didn't find something good. Okay, attack. Ooh. Yeah, so we're going to attack with the frog first. But yeah, this land lets me Formalwear and Ghost Vacuum. So that's great because then I'm protected against like the truly unfair stuff as well. Okay, so now I'm on attackers. Let's connect with the frog. Frog is in. And we are drawing a card. Drew a basic swamp, which actually I was probably going to fetch a basic swamp with this. So now I can just play it and not worry about fetching just yet to save the fetch land. If they daze me here, that would be very clever because I effectively can't pay for it, but no, they did not bother. So now at instant speed, I have access to this Pre-War Formalwear by activating Stoneforge Mystic. Opponent is finished brainstorming. They're now pondering. Swamp cycling a troll, okay. I do still have this Ghost Vacuum in play, so they're going to have trouble reanimating it. But I guess they just want to shuffle after the brainstorm and have access to a land, so that makes sense. Underground Sea, played said sea. So on attackers, if this frog comes in, which it appears to be, both frogs do, okay. This frog should definitely not attack. Yeah. So I'll activate Stoneforge. Play the Formalwear. Reanimate the frog. Then I'm getting Fatal Pushed. Alright, well that's sad. But that's okay. Because I've got a frog of my own. And I'll be able to equip it with this Formalwear. Opponent's at 7 minutes on the clock to my 15:39, so they're really taking their sweet time in this game, let me tell you. Drawing a card. And I will be vacuuming this up on the end step. Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters. Okay, so now, let's see, so I could pay 3 to equip. And provides vigilance and all that good stuff. I think that's worth it. And then, yeah, once this happens, I'll be able to attack with the frog, draw a card, and opponent will have to find more removal in order to answer this. And since my graveyard's a little bit smaller, I'm not going to go for flying. I would do that to pressure my opponent's graveyard, but it'd be just pressuring my own. See, they can't afford to block. Agreed. Okay, another Stoneforge. So that means that I would be able to play Stoneforge and then immediately activate this one to put something into play, like a Batterskull. Opponents had enough. The Pre-War Formalwear was too strong, and we have won the first match. I'll see you all for round 2. Okay, we're here for round 2. We're against Hammerfist, who's been playing an Esper tempo deck. This hand seems fine. It's a bit cantrip heavy, but it's got basics plus a bunch of cantrips, so I think that makes it an easy keep. Especially since we anticipate that our opponent's also on a fair deck. So really now I'm looking for more lands and removal, and here's both. So I like all of it. And figure out what order I want these things. I think that I take... Do I want to turn to a frog is really the question. I think I am willing to turn to the frog and not have the marsh flats just yet. I guess not have the ending, because otherwise just sitting in hand, unable to cast anyway. So 1, 2, 3, no shuffle. So turn 2 frog, turn 3 prismatic ending something is the plan. And if this frog gets dazed or whatever, that's not a huge deal because we're on the play, so they'd be getting set back even further. Sounds good to me. And frog resolved. Now, granted, it might just get removed instantly, but that's okay. So opponent's threat base that from their last deck that they've played is 3 Tameo, 3 Bowmaster, 4 Frog, a Barrowgoy from Murktide Regent, and then a bunch of removal and days and stuff. So basically that's what I'm on the lookout for this game. That's what I expect to see. And Basic Plains, which is a card that they play on their deck, yeah, so Frog's getting plowed, not too worried about that. I'm going to brainstorm. Opponent, they have 2 Spell Pierce in their deck, and so I'm going to play around it by playing the fetch land first. I'll brainstorm. Okay, so then we found this. I could get another blue. Yeah. Blue, white, I guess. And then I play another frog. And now we're in Esper mirror. Opponent's going to fetch. Okay, maybe do they have days? Okay, they have days. They have dazed me. So we'll see what happens now. Okay. I will brainstorm. I don't want to play Jason just Spell Pierce or days if I don't have to. Could play Snapcaster into those things, however. Let's do that. So I'll play out Floodstrand. I will play Snapcaster and then Snapcaster Ponder with the Tundra if it resolves. Ooh, Doorkeeper Thrall. The doors have been kept. Okay. Is that in their other list? No. So they're playing Stiflenought tonight, which I did not expect. But that's okay. I do have a lot of ways of answering a Phyrexian Dreadnought between these 2 cards, especially. Which maybe they're now looking to find. Chose not to shuffle with Ponder. Attacking for 1 with the Thrall, okay. Now what? Okay. We'll get another Archive. I'll Surveil. Stoneforge seems good. So I think first I Teferi. Because this way I can beat whatever they do. Another Thrall. It's among the more annoying things they could have done there. Let's see, do I plus? If I minus, then just gets attacked down and dies. So I guess what I do is plus. If I minus and draw a land, then I can Prismatic End the other one. Maybe that's the way to do it. I drew a Force of Will, which does not Prismatic Ending the other one. Unfortunate. But it means I could force one and ending the other. Something like that. Okay, let's see what's happening now. Teferi's getting attacked. Yep. Teferi down. See if opponent's gonna waste me. They're gonna play. Okay, Dreadnought's fine. I have lots of answers to Dreadnought. Second Dreadnought. I do have another answer in Jace the Mind Sculptor, so I'll hold on to that one as well. Okay. So let's play an ending on that Dreadnought. And do I think my opponent has a Spell Pierce? If I do think that, I should get Stoneforge because Cauldra also answers artifacts and creatures entering don't cost village trigger, so Cauldra doesn't work either. Living Weapon gets turned off. So yeah, maybe I have to Jace here and hope for the best. Okay, the best succeeded. Suppose I get this Dreadnought off the field. The opponent will play another Dreadnought. Or sorry, play a Doorkeeper Thrall. I'm hoping that they block. They don't. Yeah, now the Thralls attack down my Jace and they replay the Dreadnought. That is pretty bad for me, to be honest. Could use a Brainstorm right about now. Because I need a whole heap of removal. There's that Dreadnought. Maybe I should have forced it. That was just a mistake. Oh no, Null Drifter is insane as well. Yeah, Brainstorm into the nuts is my only out. That is not Brainstorm into the nuts. I'm going to concede. Okay. So, a lot of annoying stuff for my opponent. I want a lot of removal. I want Wrath of the Skies. I want a couple consigns because I can counter the big creatures. These, like Dreadnoughts and Null Drifters and what have you. Probably don't want Cauldra, or maybe Cauldra is good, but Batterskull's too weak. Tameo Thoughtseize seems good. The forces seem not as great, actually, because the game gets very grindy. And I'm bringing in more counter spells anyway. Yeah, let's try this. Yep. Okay, game 2 on the play. This hand is a bit too slow. I got Surveils, I'll keep it. I can set up my draws. Because I can just fetch a Surveil land, fetch a Surveil land, and then all of a sudden I'm set, right? Something like that. They're gonna do. If they stifle me here, I'm actually okay with it, I guess. But no, let's do blue-white. Tameo, see? Now things are looking quite good, because I can play fetch land, I can play the Tameo, then I can hold up for days and still fetch on end step to Surveil again. And of course, if Tameo got killed, I could even try to bring her back with Pre-War Formalwear. Suit up the Tameo. It's funny that last match we got to suit up a frog wearing a suit, or like whatever crappy attempted a suit this punk is playing, or punk is wearing. They put consign in their graveyard. It means they're just digging for removal. They just don't need this yet. They already have consigned to memory type effect. Pondering. Kept with the ponder. And just, yeah, so we'll see probably land coming down then, right? Maybe it's a wasteland, and that's what they're debating is like use the wasteland. Yeah. Okay. So now I will fetch Undercity Sewers, Surveil, land on top because all of a sudden we became a little bit land light. And let's attack, and I'll draw a card immediately because I kind of wanted to just have access to everything. Or maybe I just maybe I fetch now and then leave the draw open. That's what I'll do. Tundra. Don't expect Bowmaster, so this is the way to do it. Yeah, I only saw blue-white from my opponent. Because they're blue-white, blue-white Stiflenought, not Esper Tempo. I was just thrown off by their past decks. Thoughtseize is a good draw. Let's Thoughtseize first before we attack or anything. Let's kind of see what's going on. Did this so I could play around Spell Pierce or Flusterstorm or what have you. Okay, so they got a Thrall, a Daze, a Force, a Null Drifter, Sign of Memory. So I think I want to take the Null Drifter. That's the scary thing. Then I can ponder. Okay, cool. And found a bunch of removal. Which I'll happily keep. So looking good there. I get to attack. I get to play around Daze indefinitely now. Like I know I shouldn't Daze this Thrall. Or maybe they're bouncing Tammy with Brazen Borrower. Okay. But I know not to throw her into this Daze. So very grateful for that. Good job, information. You really were MVP. Okay, opponent's fetching. So maybe they found something else they're doing right with this. Because a lot of their plays right now are 2-mana plays. Okay, they're just playing out a Thrall first. Okay. Followed by a Dreadnought? Yep. Okay, so if I attempted to Daze or to plow the Thrall, I would get Dazed, so not doing that. Now I'm going to end up drawing the plow off the top. And I'll attempt to plow the Dreadnought, see if it gets forced. If it does, I'll do it again. Does not get forced, okay. Now I can play out this Tamiyo, because really I do want to draw the planes that's on top of my library as well. So now I can just do that, be patient, and let any future Dreadnoughts resolve for the time being. Fourth land. Okay, so now we're starting to look respectable in as far as mana development goes. If I attack with this Tamiyo, this Brazen Borrower might go ham. Yeah, I don't want to walk into a Brazen Borrower here. And so I'm just going to pass. Yep, there's the Borrower. And if that attacks, then I can start attacking with Tamiyo. Okay. Did not attack. So let's attempt to get this Thrall off the table first. Okay, that worked. So now I can upkeep Snapcaster Plow. No, I don't need to do that yet. I could just end step that. This is not a big enough threat to worry about like Snapcaster Plow type things. Opponent's pondering. Did not shuffle. They have a way through. It's a brainstorm. That's their way through to draw the cards on top. Quick brainstorm into Wasteland. I think I am going to do the end step Snapcaster Swords to Plowshares. Because if this Snapcaster gets countered outright, then I can Pre-War Formalwear it, which is pretty nice. Address down. Okay. Got me. So I don't want to Stoneforge into this dress down, obviously. I will have her play Jace. And then, because this has to get forced if they want to answer it. Which they do. So force Pitch Ponder. Yep. Yeah, they probably don't have days anymore. Yeah, Borrower can block ground creatures because it doesn't have any abilities right now. So no attacking for me. Now it's back to my opponent. Another dress down implies some sort of main deck dreadnoughtery now. Yeah, they could go like dreadnought, dreadnought, dreadnought. Or just a single null drifter, that works too. I mean, works is a figure of speech. I'm not happy about it. Okay. Well, a little bit too late for that. I guess I'll do a Stoneforge anyway. She resolves. I will get a Cauldra. And I'll pass. Yeah. Okay. So if Null Drifter attacks, I will sack Snapcaster Mage because being able to Formalwear it back is another removal spell. So in a way that's actually good for me. Good being relative. Yeah, sack Snapcaster Mage. I'll take 4. Okay. Wonder if this Wasteland's gonna get used now. Nope, brainstorming first. It is tough with all these ETB preventing effects when I have all these ETBs. I'm just going to float white here because it's the least clear about what my intentions are. Or float blue on this one, I suppose. Yeah. Okay, that's great. So if I just scrubland, First, I will swords this Null Drifter around days or whatever. And then I'll activate the Stoneforge Mystic. Put in this Cauldron. Okay, Thrall is going to prevent this from working. So given that, do I even bother? No. No point. Rough. Okay. Yeah, it really makes me look foolish, but hopefully I can get a big enough Wrath this guy's off or something. Oh no. Yeah, well, having this consign up would have been a huge difference because I would have been able to counter this entire thing. So yeah, that's brutal. I'm in big trouble now. I need to draw like literally my 4th plow to get out of this. Prismatic Ending is close, but not quite it. I'll keep up blue, so black, white. And then I can consign the Annihilator ability, so I think that's better than wasting it. Imagine like if the Annihilator trigger was like sack a permanent or discard a card. Right now I'd much rather prefer to discard a card. Given I have, this Cauldron, consign itself, all those things. So yeah, pondering first. Oh man, I'm gonna go to 1 too. This is taking a beating. Let's consign this trigger. Got dazed. I guess I sack the Tameo. Because I'm gonna need to draw like, I don't know, something perfect, but I need all my mana to do it. I mean, we could Formalwear the nothing, because Doorkeeper prevents it. Okay, so my ETBs were shut off by the no ETBs deck. GG's. GG's, no ETBs. See you all for round 3s. So we're here for round 3. We're against more no hardcore. Dan's got a Stoneforge and a Cauldron at the very least. I think I'll keep it. Opponent's doing something nasty. Gemstone Caverns. Pitching a Chrome Mox, so really it is a build your own Chrome Mox in a way. Gemstone Caverns acts as you can pitch a Chrome Mox, so it's a Chrome Mox you can pitch a land, and it taps for any color. See what they are playing. I don't know very much yet, other than something relatively unfair. Kiki Jiki, for Fabled of the Mirror Breaker. I think I let that one resolve because I'm going to Stoneforge up a Batterskull probably. I guess I could Stoneforge up a Formalwear, which means that they can't Fury the Stoneforge. That's what I'll do. Okay, so now over to my turn to cast the Stoneforge Mystic. Hopefully. Okay, so draw a card. If it was a basic planes, I would play it. Like if it was any other fetch land, I would play it. But as of now, it was of no benefit to me to play that one. So keeping it in hand for maybe a Surveil later or something like that. So yeah, if the Shaman attacks, I'm obviously letting that through. Opponent casts a removal spell. on my Stoneforge. I am not quite sure what I'd do just yet. I think it's just let it happen, but it kind of depends. Because like a Pyrogoyf Fable would be really fucked up. I would lose pretty quickly. So I want to not let that happen and would force a Pyrogoyf, I think, but let a Fury resolve. A One Ring. I think I'm going to force a One Ring. Trust too many cards. Okay, Plow is nice. So now I'm playing the fetch land because I can always fetch a Scrubland or Tundra to use the Plow at instant speed. Caldra's coming in. Attack for 5. And we'll see what my opponent has in store. Fable transforms, of course. So at the very least, Plow and Fable would be a good play. As it stands, Plow and Bombardiers is probably a better play. Well, I guess if I hit the reflection, I think I'm going to hit the reflection with this Plow. I'm going to let them. What I think their plan is to use the Bombardiers to kill the Stoneforge Mystic. I don't really want to let them do that. Yeah, but now I will get to get a Batter Skull with this Formalwear from this whole interaction. So I'm actually quite happy about all this. Let's Plow here on the reflection. And we get a Tameo. Very cool. So first things first, we play the Formalwear. We get Stoneforge back into play. We get a Batter Skull for that. Play a Tameo. I think that I lose more games to getting randomly tempoed out somehow with this Bombardier than I do just hanging back. So I'm going to hold back with the Germ token. I just think this is the more likely way that I win the game. Paragoyf probably kills the Stoneforge now. Then they attack with Bombardiers and gets throw a Pyrogoyf at Tameo. That would be really their only way to do it. Otherwise, I get to double block and kill the Bombardiers. Yeah, I don't think they can attack unless they know something I don't. In other words, I'm going to suit up this Germ token. With the Formalwear, give it some clothes. 7/7 vigilance seems good. Okay. They have to throw the Pyrogoyf at the Tameo for this play to make sense. Okay, they have done that. I'm now taking 2, and I can't block because Bombardiers has Menace. If I draw a land, I'll play Batter Skull. If I don't draw a land, at the very least, I can always equip Formalwear, so let's brainstorm first. See, that's a good reason to brainstorm first. Found something better to do than my earlier plan. I can play Teferi, I can bounce the token. And then I get to even draw a Swords to Plowshares for this Bombardiers. So I can attack. Impunity. And then on start combat, I will plow the Bombardier. Simian Spirit Guide, yeah, because they want to throw it, but now they won't have a choice, or a chance, I should say. They get a basic plains and plow the Bombardier. Okay, so now I will be able to untap plus Teferi, equip Pre-War Formalwear. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Attack for 7. And then hopefully that's sufficient. Next turn, I'll be able to play another Teferi to bounce whatever blocker they have, so that the 7 damage is lethal. I'm also conveniently at 9. Okay, so see if they... Because there's no point bouncing anymore. Let's attack. Yep. 1 blocker in. I'll go to 2. No, I'm blocking with both. Okay. It's fine. In my second main phase, I will play a Stoneforge Mystic. I'll get a Batter Skull. And then I will also, just so that Stoneforge is a little bit harder to kill, equip the suit onto the Stoneforge. So now I should probably have this game 1 locked up. Yes. Okay, good. Leading the match. So for sideboarding, I have these consigned to memories for like the One Ring and stuff. Null Rod, obviously great for the One Ring. Hydroblast, great for the matchup. Lavinia has some potential. Wrath the Skies has some potential. Probably Wrath the Skies is better. Like this. I don't think I need Thoughtseize. Like the Formalwear stuff. I don't really know if I need the Tamios. Yeah, I can see cutting the Tamio for these things. Yeah, that seems good. I could bring in Force Negation and stuff, like turn on Blood Moons on the draw or what have you, but I think I'm okay. I have a lot of basics, including one in my hand. So I'll keep this. Vexing Bauble, sure. Okay, I need a basic plains, please. Oh, this works. I will still use it. Let's see what's coming down. Okay, well, I need a basic plains a lot more urgently now. Shuffle that. Okay. Yeah, at some point I would like to find a basic. And sooner rather than later. Basic plains, please. Basic swamp wouldn't be the worst. Now I do at least have force blue card. So now basic plains is the real need. Oh wait, opponent has Vexing Bauble, so force blue card doesn't get me anywhere. Between a Chrome Mox and a duplicate Blood Moon. Okay, so can't counter it. Sure would like to. Okay. It's just crushing me on this game. Hydroblast would also be a good draw. Another Psychic Frog is not quite what the doctor ordered. I'm going to discard one of them. I can Formalwear it back into play. So at least it adds utility to this guy. Reflection has flipped. One Ring is drawing a billion cards. I'm in so much trouble. Yeah, I guess I'll give it single, one more draw step. I guess. Barely. Not excited about it. But I'm very dead. Okay, yeah, conceding. Okay, so what did we learn? Nothing. I'll lose to Blood Moon if I don't respect it at all. It's a good lesson. Let's try that again. Okay, I'm on the play. This hand is good. Keep. This hand has got basics of all colors. It's got no rod for the One Ring. I think I lead on basic or polluted delta, so I can fetch a basic island and then have a basic plains open. Flooded Strand. So I'll fetch now just to slightly reduce the odds I draw a land. Did not reduce the odds I drew a land. And then I'll just pass. I could play out Null Rod now. There's a few reasons to do that, but there's also a few not to. Reasons to do it would be to use my mana most efficiently. Reason not to is because I want to be able to brainstorm better this turn and potentially leave open whatever I brainstorm into or Source to Plowshares or what have you. And so the brainstorm plan won, basically. And I don't think they have Chrome Mox, so I have another turn to do this Null Rod, which I will. So I'm going to brainstorm end step. I'm very likely to Null Rod on my next main phase. Might get blasted. But if it does, that's okay. Does not get blasted. Okay, so I'll put away Tundra and Sewers. I'm going to fetch a basic plains. I think I'm going to take a. Do I take a turn off of Null Rodding to Stoneforge? Probably. Because I have this consigned in memory for the One Ring. Yeah, I think I can Stoneforge safely, because if the One Ring gets cast, I can consign it. Let's go for the Cauldra. Mono red really can't beat the Cauldra outside of like the spell Gone. Dead Gone. With the Gone side. The Gone Father. So Fury I can let resolve and then I can consign the trigger. It saves me the force technically. Because otherwise I'd have to force this pitching consigns. This way at least I have consign in play. Okay, so now I will fetch a basic island. consign the trigger that deals damage, not the evoke trigger that sacrifices it. And now they have spent the Fury and a Fable for nothing. Or for consign, I guess. Hieroglyph is coming down to kill the Stoneforge now. That's fair. What did we find? Another Stoneforge. That's pretty nice. I'll get a Stoneforge again. Yes, I'll get a Pre-War Formalwear. And then at this point, do I want to play Null Rod to prevent the One Ring from going off at all? Or is being able to move around my Formalwear more important? I think I'd rather Null Rod right now. As weird as that seems. I just don't want, I feel like there's a One Ring in hand, and I don't want it to be able to recoup any value. It just means I can't move my Formalwear around, that's fine. This is the price we pay. More mana? Another Pyroglyph? That would be gross. Fiery Confluence, destroying the artifact and dealing 2 damage to creatures. Okay. That's pretty cool. Okay, so Pyroglyph is now coming in for 1 billion damage. Another white source or a blue card to pitch to force are both good. Found the white source. Let's formalize some clothes. Get a Stoneforge. Say yes to the trigger. Get a Batterskull. And all of a sudden we're looking pretty good here, huh? Because at the very least we can cast Batterskull next turn. Vexing Bauble is fine. I can't even alt cast Force if I wanted to. Bombardiers. Okay, so that's why I saved the plow. So I can do it now. Get that guy out of here. This attacks me for a bunch. I take it. And then next turn I have the option of forcing something or putting in either of these equipments, and I can attack because this has vigilance. And I can snap plow because I have a snapcaster. Very good. Okay, I have lots of options now, and I can do things like equip plus snap plow as well. One ring, huh? I could snap consign that. So I think I'll do snapcaster consign on this one. Snapcaster. Target consign. Cast consign. As soon as I'm allowed to. Okay, consign. Cast a flashback. Yep. Not replicating, just the single time. Get out of here, that one ring. Go back to your memories. They attack with Pyroglyph, I put in Cauldron to block. Otherwise I put in Batterskull, I believe. Because then I can give it vigilance, plus make it too large. Pyroglyph to block and kill. And then still be able to hold up Cauldron. Okay, opponent has resigned at one ring. Yeah, they can't attack with Pyroglyph or just block and kill it. Be a foolish move. Don't do it, opponent. I know you're thinking about it, but you really should not attack. I will take advantage of it. Okay, good. You did not. I get to put in Batterskull. And then I get to move the Formalwear over to the germ. Move over there. Then I attack, and I'm going to gain 6 life, which is the big benefit of this. Could have sent in the Cauldron too, but I didn't want to just get got by a Gon or something. Get got gone. I want to have the Cauldron instant speed. I feel like that's valuable to me. Be able to hold that thing up. What other tournament is happening right now? Both my first round and third round opponent are playing really slowly, as if they're double queuing. Okay. Fable does not matter, so go ahead. Fable away. I'll unstep this Cauldron though, so I can hold up hardcast Force of Will. Okay, now I can altcast Force of Will, which makes these things a lot easier. So Stoneforge, losing the city. That's rough. I respond to the City of Traders trigger. I kind of want to, just for fun. In response to you losing your land, I'm going to activate my Stoneforge Mystic and put in this Cauldron Complete. There we go. Did it. And I have a Psychic Frog. Let's ponder first. Plow and Brainstorm, huh? Seems good. Put Plow in my hand because I have a Force Pitch right now. So I can just attack with these two. And if they double block here or something, I can Plow the Shaman. If it's single block, they're in trouble. Oh. They singularly blocked. I've gained a lot of life. I'm at 19. I'm no longer at risk of randomly dying. I say right before I randomly die. Hope not. But yeah, I'm looking like I should be in good shape for this game. Opponent discarded a Blood Moon and a Fable. Blood Moon does literally nothing right now. Fable is too little too late, I think. Okay, it's another Pyroglyph. Because I can equip this Batterskull to this Cauldron. Gain so much life. Okay, just gonna hold things up. Yeah. If we put Batterskull over here, then we're looking at a nasty piece of work. But it might not be necessary. I might be able to just like play around any number of cards in hand by being a lot more conservative here, not tapping out to do that. Because if I get like hit by a Gon plus a Pyroblast, I could all of a sudden be in trouble, I guess. I don't know. So if I attack with this, I'm 5, 6, 7, 8. That's lethal. So the onus is already on my opponent to do something here. So I'm just going to attack with the squad. Since the default block, I win the game. Okay. Take 8. Gone. There you go. Let's force that. Pitching. Frog. And then that should do it. Yep. One goes to 3 off first strike and then to 0. Morno Hardcore loses the match. And I win the match. I'm 2-1. I'll see you all for round 4. Okay, so here we are against Jumba. We're on the draw. Jumba's been playing Eldrazi, a lot of it. Kind of a known quantity at this point to me. So my plan is to turn 1 a Tamiyo, turn 2 a Stoneforge, force pitch Ponder on something that I need to do, then ride a Cauldron to victory. If that heralds the end, does not disrupt that plan. Yeah, Tamiyo is in. Then I have a Stoneforge up a Cauldron. It will force the Thought-Knot Seer. I'm kind of glad it happened before the Stoneforge in a way. I'll block. It's free damage, so they're figuring, why not, right? Another Ponder, huh? I think it's still Stoneforging time. Get that Cauldron complete. Attack with Tamiyo. Clue token is worth 2 damage, I think. Because I'm not going to obviously block the jump block with the Stoneforge on a 2-2. One's coming in for nothing yet. There's a land. I think I will Ponder and then Stoneforge. Okay, yeah. And do I want Psychic Frog or another Stoneforge? I think I do want another Stoneforge because I can get a Dire Skull at instant speed. Which I mean, like, tutor up a Dire Skull, then use it instantly, not actual instant speed. So fetching with the Pluto Delta, I could get a Swamp to play around all sorts of wastelandy, or at this point they have big mana with the Myco spawns, so I think I'm actually going to get an island to just play it a little bit safer on my mana. So Caldra's in. Oh, I guess Kozilek's command also answers the Cauldron. Forgot about the fact that that thing exiles, does not destroy, so I could just get the token, but I guess Jumbo is flooded over there. So I was able to start leading the match. Okay, so Consigned in Memory comes in, Harbinger comes in, Wrath of the Skies comes in, I think. Yeah. Can clean up like hordes of Eldrazi spawn stuff. I think Thoughtseizes are good because they take turn 1 off all the time. Pre-War Formalwear, I don't think my stuff is going to die so much as get exiled, so Formalwear is not that great. Thematic Ending really only answers Chalice, which Wrath of the Skies does better, so I think I'm going to cut those guys. I guess I can pay 3 to answer, like, Fleshraker. I can stay in, maybe. Tamiyos are maybe a little bit too low impact. Jaces might be a little bit too expensive. Jace just being the fact they can keep on recasting stuff. Really annoying. And then I can cut like 1 prismatic ending. Let's try that. Okay. So this hand, I think, is kind of not a great hand, but it does have Brainstorm Fetch Land. And it has a force for like a turn 1 Chalice, so it's better than a mulligan. So yeah, keeping it. No Devourer of Destiny reveal. The second time in a row. Simple pass. Okay. What do we draw? Fetchland, perhaps? Thoughtseize, perhaps? Thoughtseize would be a really nice one, actually. Drew a fetch land. I think I'm gonna lead on Marsh Flats because on end step I can fetch for a Surveil land, and then on my main phase I can Brainstorm. Thought not, I will just force that. Okay, so then Surveil land, I'll get blue white. Put frog on top. And really this could be on me where I was supposed to fetch blue black here just so I could keep a frog and instantly play it. That said, maybe I do just throw caution to the wind, play out the frog this turn. The next turn I Brainstorm and hope to find a fetch land. Maze of Ith. Frog is blocked forever. Fleshraker is in play. Gross. Okay. Well, got one problem sorted. Let's Brainstorm. Okay, Consign and Harbinger are nice to find as well, so I'll keep those around. So I can plow the Fleshraker now. I'm not going to bother attacking with the frog and doing the little dance of just, oh, untap my guy. Okay, cool. I would do it if they had like a Yavimaya in play. This would tap for something real, but as of now, it does not do that. So I will do it. Well, I'm not going to do it this turn. What I'm going to do instead is I'll play the plains, go 1, blue, blue, play Harbinger, and now they won't be able to Maze of Ith because I'll have Harbinger in play. So they're pumping this by 1. Yep, it's fine. Now I attack with Frog. Draw a card. Redrew the Cauldron, which I knew about. And now we're looking decent. Very good, actually. Opponent just concedes. Cool. Boom. We defeated Eldrazi. I will see you all for round 5. Hello, welcome to round 5. We're against Nubrak, who's actually someone that I used to be able to play with fairly regularly when I was able to make it up to LA for tournaments. He's a SoCal local. And, nice to play him here on the digital client. Yeah, way back when he played D&T, but he's played Fair Blue decks for the last several years. But yeah, he's pondering and keeping with his opening. Let's see, that's another land. I don't want lands, so I think I'm going to ponder and just try to find not lands. Success. So keeping those. The next turn I can play a Stoneforge Mystic. And the turn after I can Brainstorm. So this kind of speaks like a main deck back to basics for me. So given that, there's no reason for me to get got by it. I'm just going to be a little bit careful and try to fetch my basics out. See if Stoneforge lives or dies. I will get... Given my opponent's on white removal, I'm going to get Batterskull because that's the one that I can recur. Like, I can bounce back to hand to replay, while Cauldron, once it gets removed, is just gone forever. Either way, the Stoneforge is getting plowed, but I recouped a card worth of value out of it, so happy about that. Brainstorm for my opponent. And he's probably gonna... I think he's just probably on Jeskai control with like a bunch of planeswalkers and stuff like that. This turn, I will Brainstorm. I don't want to play around Spell Pierce for as long as I'm able to. Nice. So I can put away Batterskull and I guess the Ponder. I'm going to want this 4th land. A little bit of my fetching basics has to go out the window right now. And let's see here. Do I want to go white-black so I have double white, or blue-black so I have triple blue? I think I want to go white-black. Play out the frog. And then hopefully I can take over this game with Jace plus double force. Terminus is kind of annoying. But I'm not going to sweat it right now. My plan is Jace. My opponent might be debating playing a 3-mana planeswalker of their own or holding up a force of negation. Okay, let's see here. So they're double fetching, which probably means like Teferi or Narset. Whichever one it is, I'll probably force pitching a Teferi. Narset, yeah, so force pitching Teferi. That resolved, very nice. Okay, so now I can Jace. And I will. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Brainstorm. Okay, so I'll put away Plow, and then I'll put Swamp on top. That's pretty good. Obviously, another Planeswalker could be a problem. 4th Erlingus could be a problem. It appears to be that one. I will force pitching Brainstorm. The next turn, at least, I have a couple ways to answer that. So I will Brainstorm first. Okay, I found a Formalwear and a Plow that I don't need. So let's start with the Thoughtseize. Okay, Ponder Prismatic Ending Spell Pierce. So I can take the Ponder. I can Thoughtseize again in the draw step if I do this right. So 1, 2, 3. Teferi. Okay, I was going to plus Teferi and then Thoughtseize in the draw step. But turned out that I was able to get it just like that. So in the control mirror, with the win condition being, 4th Erlingus, I probably want Hydroblast for the 4th Erlingus. At the Skies for the 4th Erlingus. Force Negation is counter magic. So they want these 5. I don't really want the spot removal. And Formalwear doesn't seem great because of the... Formalwear is maybe better than Cauldron. Just trying to figure out which of these two is like more of a threat. I feel like it. Just don't think Keldra is getting there. Meanwhile, Formalwear can recur like countered stuff. Or like blue cards hit by Pyroblast, Formalwear can get back. Can I afford to cut like a land on the draw? Probably. Cut basic swamp. And then I can bring in one Lavinia. Yeah, okay. I like that. Lavinia, of course, being difficult to be good about fighting for counter spells. This hand looks like a turn 1 Undercity Sewers Surveil, and then turn 2 Thoughtseize and Surveil. Yeah, so let's Surveil. I don't think I want a basic island right now. I think I have enough lands. Okay, let's see what's happening now. Basic island again. That does probably mean back to basics is in the deck. Or just that he has so many, or at least in the main deck. I don't know if he's still got it in there. Okay, so I'm going to Thoughtseize first. Can maybe rip the Swords to Plowshares or whatever before I play the Stoneforges. Or like rip some counter magic, I guess. Yep, Thoughtseize gets Flusterstormed. Just fine with that. Play another Surveil land. I think I do want the Ponder. Because next turn I could like Ponder Stoneforge is a very reasonable line. If opponent plays a Planeswalker, I'm probably going to go Force Pitch Hydroblast. Yeah. Okay, opponent's forcing back. So now I can Snapcast Thoughtseize. Yeah, that's a good line. Because my opponent is able to answer Snapcaster, or they're going to be harder pressed to do so, I should say. Because the Snapcaster is going to be able to rip a potential answer out of their hand right now. Just like that, Swords to Plowshares. Okay, so now if they don't find something here, the Snapcaster will be able to kill the Teferi. And granted that Prismatic Vista was the draw for turn since we know their hand. That's looking great for us. So I will attack. Then since I know they have a force and nothing to do about it, I ponder first, then I'll use Stoneforge to shuffle. Brainstorm seems like a good one. Let's play Stoneforge Mystic. Let's get Batterskull. And then we pass. Okay, so opponent will at the very least have Force of Will this turn. So I will attack with Snapcaster only. And then on the end step, I'll put in the Batterskull. Okay. Yeah, I just don't want to cast spells into this Force of Will. But can I avoid it? I'd much rather have my opponent have to pitch cast Force than be able to hard cast. Are they going for a Ortholingus? They are, okay. So I'll let that resolve. I'm going to, oh, I see, they're not doing it. Okay. Let's put in this skull. This kills my germ. So I don't want to do that. Just attack, and then I'll attack with Snapcaster 2. If it dies, Formalwear becomes a great target. Like Formalwear gains a great target, I should say. I'm quite happy with that outcome. Yeah, let's see here. I think in the end step, I'm going to try to brainstorm. Maybe we'll get forced, but probably won't. Okay, did not. Put stuff on top. This order, why not? Okay, gonna attack again. At this point, I'm trying not to overextend into a terminus. I can keep up a bunch of counter spells. Okay. Deal. So yeah, end step I can activate Formalwear to put in Snapcaster Mage and then snap back a Brainstorm. So Snapcaster Mage enters play. And then I will be able to Brainstorm. Or is the suit enough? And the suit prompts the concession? That'd be cool too. Nope, not quite. Okay, so now I need to Brainstorm. So much value. Okay, yeah, I don't really care about the Pyroblast. Can still Brainstorm. And I intend to. Okay, Tameo. Which I still have the Brainstorm. It's okay. I'll put away Wrath the Skies and then Stoneforge on top. So I guess this next turn I just could honestly pass and do nothing. I could play Tameo plus Frog. And then leave up double counter. Maybe that's the way to do it. I know opponent has a force, so I need to fight through at least that. So I can just play some threats. Tameo, and now here's a Frog. And then I will fight over a Terminus. Not going to fight over the force, however. Okay, fourth Erlingus is fine. Force of Will is less fine, but I'll take it. I think I hold back just on the off chance that I need to just defend for a turn. So opponent draws the fourth Erlingus. This kind of motivates them tapping out big for it. So Fawn, pitch Foe, because this exiles it. That should be enough. Okay, so now I can get my attacks on. And I will leave up drawn clue token. If I draw like a ponder or something, I would regret not cracking it, so I'll crack it. So you drew Brainstorm, even better. Get to flip the Tamiyo now. Put away 2 lands. Flip her up, +2. Play the land, pass. Okay, looking real good now. Also, if I draw the next land, I can just put Batterskull right on top. I no longer care about Terminus because I have this Tamiyo threatening. So yeah, we're good. Do I want to draw the next land? Sure. I'll go up with this. I'll put Stoneforge Mystic in play. And then on end step, I'll return Batterskull to hand. Okay, Stoneforge got Force of Will, that's fine. Again, I can put Batterskull back into my hand if I need to. And I can also force negation something. I'll force negation this instead. Let's go basic island and let's go scrubland, I guess. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, force of negation. Then I'll be able to force of will the next spell cast, which means I'm 100% going to be able to ultimate Tamiyo. So that's also fantastic for me. Like write the code for Moto, yeah, I definitely did. Yeah, deck is doing great, and I planned things well in advance, like letting that Snapcaster trade with the token a couple turns prior allowed me to put in the Formalwear to recur the Snapcaster, which like got me up a Pyroblast or up a card in the whole exchange, so on and so forth. So like little plays like that are why I ended up being ahead. But yeah, got the match. We are now 4-1. I'll see you all for round 6. Okay, we're here for round 6 against Putt Putt, who's revealed a Yorion. I presume they're on Death and Taxes. This hand seems pretty solid. It's got turn 1 Thoughtseize followed by either Frog or Tamiyo plus Brainstorm. D&T is confirmed-ish. Some sort of Vial deck, I suppose. Yorion Vial deck. Okay, so Pre-War Formalwear or Bombardiers. Well, let's take the Formalwear because that can just keep coming back forever. So they're Jeskai Vial, not just D&T. Or at the very least red-white Vial, I should say. So now I can I think I can Tamiyo plus Brainstorm and then plus her, because if the Bombardiers throws the Vial to kill her, I'm actually okay with that due to this Formalwear. So I don't want Kaldra. Maybe I don't want Kaldra, redraw the land. Slip Tamiyo. +2. Yeah, Bombardier would deal 1 damage, then throw the Vial to deal the final 3 or the remaining 3 points. Solitude in the Yard, okay. I'm expecting the Bombardier to come down. At this point, I don't look like an Esper deck for what it's worth. I just look like a blue-black Froginator, mid-range, whatever. But I'm trying to figure out what they want to do for turn. Still feel like they're probably going to do the Bombardier play. It's, oh, Yorion to hand, okay. In that case, I'll -3 and Thoughtseize, or get back Thoughtseize. So I can Thoughtseize the Bombardier now. And then I can even play out a frog. Get scrubland. Black, blue. That's pretty good. So my opponent has 2 lands and a Yorion in hand. And in a turn or so I can bounce the Vial with Teferi. Mother of Runes. Not too bad. It's plus first. Attack. We connect. Yes, okay, so now I can brainstorm and then fetch land. So let's put away 2 surveil lands. I'll fetch, I'll bounce the Mother of Runes basically. And I'll do that with a Tundra. Very bounce. That's a good draw too. Okay. So now opponent will be able to hardcast a Yorion, but that's not really that scary. Mother of Runes is coming down instead. That makes more sense. So at the very least, I can let Tamiyo die to -3. I think I will do that. Because I can Thoughtseize the Yorion that way. -3. Get Thoughtseize back. Plus. No, I guess I don't want to wait because Vial can come in. So Thoughtseize the Yorion. Then I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Jace the Mind Sculptor minus on Mother of Runes. I've already plus Teferi, and then I'll leave back Psychic Frog so that my Planeswalkers are safe. Yeah. Okay, good plan. Okay, so now Vial probably goes to 5 anyway, yep. If Solitude or something would be annoying for my opponent to have. Stands, it does not appear they have anything like that. Okay, do I brainstorm here? Do I minus? I think I'm going to brainstorm. Okay, so let's put away both Stoneforges, I suppose. Or at least one Stoneforge. And a frog. And plus this, I can actually just safely attack as is, doing nothing fancy at all. And do I want to redraw the frog? Yeah, I think so. So let's now go to Fairy. And then I'll keep the new one. I'll fetch Tundra. Let's minus bounce the Mother of Runes. Ooh, and I drew the plow. Fantastic. Okay, so let's Stoneforge then. And I will take the Cauldron. I have control of this game. So I don't need to force the mom at this point. I think that I'll be able to just run over the game as is, so I'll probably plow the Containment Priest as it attacks. Iron Sash, not a problem. Be able to equip. Yep. Okay, so let's see here. Attacking Jace. Let's plow. And opponent concedes. Okay. So up a game against Jeskai Vial. Null Rod seems good. Wrath the Sky seems good. Hydroblasts seem good. Consign has effects. In addition to just the Vial, it has like all the triggered abilities. So possibly Consign is good. But my main deck is also pretty good as is. I probably don't need all of the forces I have. Let's say I just bring in these 4 cards. I could cut 2 forces, a Cauldron, because they have so many ways of answering it, just by flickering it out. And like, I don't know. What's the least exciting card remaining? Basic Swamp? Yeah, Basic Swamp. Okay. Then this will be what we do. Submit. Got 2 lands upon our Brainstorm to keep opponents going to 6. Wonder if they have a Vial again. Nope. Surveil. A Survival. Let's see here. So, given that I can't get a basic swamp, given that I cut it from the deck, I'm going to go Underground Sea, Ponder. These are nice draws. 1, 2, 3, no shuffle. So then I can either turn to a Frog or a Stoneforge. Mother of Runes, huh? That's a little annoying, but I think it means I do in fact want to play a Stoneforge. And I'll go basic planes just so I don't get killed by a Magus or something. Fire Skull up. Okay, did not get plowed. What's coming in on 3? Could be Broadside Bombardier. Could be their own Stoneforge. It is their own Stoneforge, okay. Now, this Mother of Runes is making things annoying, but hopefully I'm able to have enough multicolored things that Mom will need to activate against, like Jace minus, or my own stuff, that we're okay here. So let's Brainstorm. They might blast this. Looks like they're going to blast it. Would not be the craziest thing for them to do. Nope, they let it resolve. Okay, so Prismatic Ending might be good for stuff. I don't think I need a second Jace right now. I don't think I need Formalwear right now. Put this in play. And on the upkeep, I will fetch basic island. Yeah, okay. So now opponent puts in Cauldron, that's fine. Yeah, they can even attack with it. I don't really care because I'll have a black germ token plus a white removal spell for this Mother of Runes. And a giver, huh? Okay. So now we put in the skull. And I go into attacks. I do set attacking. And they let it through. Good trigger discipline. So let's brainstorm. Hydroblast. Doesn't do much right now. One, two. I think I do a Stoneforge Mystic to shuffle the library. And I can hold up Hydroblast. Get some formal wares. Up in formal there. Yeah, I can counter a red spell if I need to. So the germ comes in. Fine with that. Looking for Wrath the Skies. Second ending is also pretty good. Okay, so let's do deck with the germ. Stoneforge, okay. Yep, gets pro black. So now I'm going to prismatic ending the germ token. And then when mom goes to give it protection from white, I'm going to then prismatic ending the mom. And then I can play a frog. Then pass the turn. Okay. Cool. Seems good. Let's see what's happening on the end step. Something. The opponent didn't put Yorion in hand. So they have something they want to do. No? Okay. Fifth land. Maybe this is like a solitude. Okay. So that's a bit annoying. Skyclave. It's also a bit annoying. Okay, it's getting rid of my frog. That makes sense. Okay, so with Jace, I could brainstorm or I could minus on Giver. Minus on Giver, they just make this thing so it can't attack. I guess I Jace Brainstorm. Maybe I should have played this out so that if I get Pyroblasted, yeah, like that. That was foolish of me. Okay, well, let's see, I could attack. Maybe they'll let it through. Looks like I'm repping something. Or maybe I'm just getting plowed. Actually be pretty happy getting plowed here. Okay, so they're letting it through. It's good for me. Okay. So now the germ comes in. I don't block. And on end step, I'll crack this and look for. Ooh, Recruiter's gross. End step, I'll crack this and look for the board wipe, energy board wipe. But I'll still be in trouble. Belia, Exuberant Shepherd. Yeah, so let's archive. Find good stuff. Plow is good. Kind of all I could ask for. If I plow the giver, then I can. How can I get this through? So Belia can come in and flicker something, including my germ. I guess I gotta be careful with how I point this thing. Guess I just attack with the germ token. We'll see what this gets me. Okay, opponent's soaking the damage again. That's respectable. Hopefully I'm able to make this Philia a problem for my opponent. Or hopefully I'm able to make this germ a problem for my opponent, I should say. But it does rely on this giver being off the board on my opponent's turn cycle. Okay, opponent's going in for attacks. Just there. I will soak it in, I believe. I guess I can block, because that puts the Formalwear in play and absorbs 2 damage. Yeah, I'll block. Here we go. Okay. Johnny, Nakato Pariah, okay. A lot of white stuff. So end step, plow the giver to tap it, essentially, and get it out of there. And I activate Stoneforge Mystic. I put in Pre-War Formalwear. The Stoneforge comes back. Say yes, but I fail to find because I cut Cauldra. It'd be nice to have Cauldra right now. Gonna be completely honest. Okay, wow. This is a great draw. So let's attack first, I think. Yeah, because I don't want my opponent to know exactly that I have a Jace and stuff when they're making their blocks. Like I can unsummon this Culture Germ and they don't know that yet. And I can Hydroblast this Ajani, which I will. Okay, so yep, Ajani flips. 2, 3, 4. Play Jace the Mind Sculptor. Let's bounce the Germ token. And then in my opponent's upkeep, I will Hydroblast the Ajani. Okay. Suppose I'll do it now. There's no reason not to. Okay, so now opponent's got to get through my line of defense. And I've got them at 4 and myself at 13. They've got to pressure this Jace, but also I have them pretty close to dead. Null Rod is obviously not looking stellar from my end, but could have been a very different game. Opponent moving into combat. Elia's attacking Jace and removing Stoneforge as a blocker. No, flickering Recruiter of the Guard. Okay. I'll block. Wonder what this means. What are we recruiting for? Who's to say? I think opponent thought it was maybe like an immediate flicker, or got confused for a second. Philia, the card flickers back in on end step, so they couldn't immediately flicker to go get a Solitude to clear my blocker, if that was their plan. As it stands, that's good for me. Yori on to hand. Vial into play. Philia, or the Recruiter's coming back in. Now they're getting a Solitude, I suppose. Yep, or Broadside Bombardiers, okay. So let's brainstorm. Okay, Hydroblast for the Bombardiers. And I could just Thoughtseize plus equip Batterskull this turn. Yeah. So I'm going to do this now because I don't have another untapped black source in the deck. Or do I have Scrubland, I suppose. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Equip here. I'm going to attack with both. Two vigilant creatures. both of, or at least one of which has to be chump blocked. The other one can go to damage. Then I will Thought Seize my opponent. I'll take the Yorion because I have an answer to the Bombardiers in hand. Even though I can't cast it this turn, it's still enough. So then the Bombardiers are going to come in, do some damage, wreak some havoc, but I will be able to take it over. I've got my opponent at 1 life. So this should not be too hard to close out. Okay, the Bombardiers are coming in, as expected. Now what happens? What gets damaged? Cauldron is being thrown at my big Stoneforge. Yep. Can no longer block. And the Jace is defeated. Or Jace. Draw that Force of Will. Attack with Stoneforge. They figure out how to block. Okay. Nope. Yes. Yeah, they don't want to give me another attacker. That makes sense. So I can also put this Batterskull Skull back into play with 5 mana, so that will be the use of the rest of my mana here. And as far as when I'm timing this Hydroblast, I just don't want to give my opponent extra information on like what to do, that their Bombardiers are gone. Looks like we're going to top 8 this challenge. Okay. Stoneforge Mystic. I will force this. Yeah. Okay, so if my opponent goes to start combat, I will Hydroblast the Bombardier. And then that'll force a chump block of the Apparition. And then I'll be able to recur Batterskull Skull next turn. Yeah, whoops. Let's do blue mana, destroy target permanent if it's red. Goodbye, Bombardier. Okay, an opponent definitely can't attack now. Then I will attack with the Stoneforge. I'm going to hold off on the Brainstorm for 1 more turn. Just because I'm in a commanding enough position on board. And I'd rather like put away dead cards if something goes horribly awry here. Okay. When it fetches, I win the game. Fantastic. So we're 5-1. We top 8 of the challenge. Check that out. Pow. I will see you all for the quarters. All right, we're here for the top 8 against Batutinha on the draw, despite being higher seed, because that's how these things work on Moto. And so he typically plays Froginator. And so I think this is an easy keep. I'm just trying to figure out how I want to sequence it. Because, yeah, okay, so now I'm not worried about getting reanimated on turn 2. And the fact that this prismatic ending can deal with a flipped Tameo means that I'm going to do it this way. And if Batu attacks, I'm going to block just to send a message. How's that feel? Let's use Fatal Push my Tameo. Okay. It's fine. Brainstorm flips Tameo. That's also fine. Because then I can probably Thoughtseize first. Then I'll know if I'm able to play this Tameo into days or have to play around days. And then I'll next turn get rid of the Tameo. I think that's the way I want to do it. I'll do it off of this land, otherwise I'm not going to get 4 mana for or double blue for Jace when I need to. Okay, so Fatal Push, Psychic Frog, Brazen Borrower. I'm going to take the frog. And then I'm going to play a Tameo. Obviously, this walks the Fatal Push right into the Tameo, but I'd rather them not -3 the Tameo and rebuy this Fatal Push. I'd rather them just plus this Tameo, trying to get it to 8 ASAP, because then I can Prismatic Ending this cleanly, and it's way better for me. So hit Fatal Push there. Happens. They go upstairs, which is what I wanted. And I find a Stoneforge. That's quite nice. So yeah, let's start with Prismatic Ending on Tameo. And then I will go for a Tundra, I believe. Let's do a Tundra. Then we'll Stoneforge and we'll get a Pre-War Formalwear, because that will be able to buy back my Tameos. Opponent's going to crack the Clue token, see if they can just rip a Daze. Has Daze been acquired? Daze was acquired. Wow, okay. I got. But means I'll have a Jace next turn. So that's good for me at least. Brainstorm coming in. I assume that he's going to keep this Borrower, so I'm not going to delete it from my known information. Island replayed. Frog is played. So at this point, I will play a Jace and bounce the frog. Yeah. So let's do second black source. Play a Jace. Hope it doesn't get dazed again. It's forced. Pitching Brazen Borrower. Okay, so not much we could do about that. Now this frog comes in, but I'll be able to play my own frog. I'm behind a card in the back and forth combat steps, so that's a little unfortunate. So I'll play out this frog. I'll just hold this land because right now it's an extra card counter, or it's actually a counter for frog. I'm going to play out the fetch so they could surveil. Makes sense. I do think opponents not playing Reanimator though. I think they're playing Tempo. I have not seen any trolls cycling or anything like that. And multiple Tameos in the main. I think this is a Tempo deck, not a Not a Reanimator deck. Chose not to shuffle with Ponder. If they play a third Fatal Push, I'll be almost certain they're on tempo, not Froginator. Because Froginator main deck plays like at most 2 Fatal Push. Okay, so jumping the frog. I don't want to lose my frog, so I'm going to just let it go through. Hopefully, I mean, this is not going to go well, I don't think, but I have to give it my best. Okay, so Force. Okay, so I'll play out the land now because now I can hardcast a Force of Will. Which I will cast on this Orcish Bowmaster. Oh no. Another one. Okay. So I'll pitch 3 cards to let my frog fly. And then frog is going to take another hit from this Bowmaster. Essentially, I have to discard this frog to keep this one alive, but that's obviously worthwhile because I have to cast it, and now it's bigger too. So yeah, a little bit of a rough spot for me. Opponent is holding strong. Frog is coming in, drawing a card for them. Tamiya, okay. Brainstorm to flip, yep. Pretty gross. Really commanding spot for Batu. Okay. And a fatal push? Oh my god. Well, that's not going to do it. Okay, so they're on tempo. I can sideboard appropriately. So let's get these Force of Wills out of here. Do a Wrath the Skies. Couple Ghost Vacuums. Not incredible, but just like fine. Maybe I do want just like a couple forces. I didn't really build this thinking about the tempo matchup all that much. I'll play a Ghost Vacuum just as the game goes along, and I can just keep exiling stuff for value. Cool. All right, on the play for game 2. This hand seems fine. I do need black mana source, but we can try to get there. Batu's mulliganing. There it is. So probably try to jam out the frog on turn 2 because I can Formalwear it back turn 3. And since I'm on the play, and if I have him dazing turn 2, that's fine. Like, or in his turn 1, back to 0 lands, like, that's a big advantage for me. Okay, well, I got Wastelanded, so that's no longer an option, but I can now Thoughtseize. So that's what I will do. Okay, second Wasteland, Ponder Daze, and Frog. I guess I'll just take the frog. Get this Underground Sea Wastelanded, probably. Yep. I play the land. Ooh, and I get to play Tamiya. Very cool. Even though she's just going to be building up clues that I need to draw a second land in order to cash in, still in a pretty good spot. One of the ponders is now being cast. So I do need to be very cognizant of this daze. Chose not to shuffle. And I drew a second land. We'd love to see it. So I'm going to hold up this clue token because I want to be able to force and not get dazed. Like if a scary 2-drop comes into play. Now I think I will just crack it. Let's go Scrubland. See if Bowmaster comes down. If it's just a fatal push, that's fine. Okay. Nice. Now I can play a frog. And again, I'm just playing around this daze forever. When I get a 4th land, I'll be able to either Formalwear back the frog or the Tameo. And also I do have Snap Thoughtseize or Snap Prismatic Ending somewhere as an option. 3rd land is being played. Ponder. Okay. Quick shuffle. Probably means out of removal. So I would interpret that. Found removal. Frog is no more. Okay, so let's try to find a 4th land so I can Formalwear around days. Found a Tameo, that's fine too. Put her in there. Okay. Opponent's probably fetching to Surveil. Looking for yet another removal spell. Which I will continue to let resolve. Put a card on top. Okay. Let's see here. What can I find? What can opponent find? Bowmaster? Their skulls. Interesting. Okay. I don't think I really care about the Bowmaster because I can just prismatic it. Yeah. Okay, so I will Tameo, or not Tameo, just prismatic ending Bowmaster, get it out of here. And then pass back. Eventually I can force something that I need to force, but so far I do not need to. After the brainstorm, a frog is coming down from my opponent. The first thing I kind of care about. Okay. So if I can Formalwear back this frog, I'm in good shape. I just need a 4th land. Found it. I'll attack with Tameo. Just to build up a clue repository. Gonna play Outland. Play Pre-War Formalwear. And put the frog back in play. Yep. Long pause, love it. Yeah, frog with vigilance is pretty good. So frog into play. I get to pass. Get to make this days bad this whole game. It's so nice. Barrowglyph. I feel like I can find an answer to that. I haven't seen a single Swords to Plowshares yet. Got 4 of them in the deck. Okay. There's one. 1, 2, 3. Let's attack with Frog and Tamiyo. As the frog connects, I'll want to flip to the Tamiyo draw. Frog does not connect, that's fine. In that case, I'm just going to hold off for a little bit. Because I'll be able to plow this Barrowglyph when it attacks. Get out of here, Barrowglyph. Okay, opponent agrees that getting out of here, Barrowglyph, is enough. So we're tied up 1-1. I think on the draw, I want probably a third force over that Ghost Vacuum. I'll just run it like that. Going into game 3 on the draw, this looks pretty solid. It's got removal, it's got Tamiyo plus Brainstorm, it's got a Jace to take over the game eventually. Let's see what opponent opens with. Okay. I think I'm just going to play into days. I think I'm going to do this off of a Tundra. Yeah, I think I'm just going to play into days and then force the days. Okay, there was not a days. It's convenient. Brainstorm, okay. So then, on my turn, I can try to Tamiyo Brainstorm. What happens? What are we doing? Not a wasteland. Another threat? No, surveil. Okay. Play Tamiyo. I'm going to do this off of another Tundra, just given the amount of Teferis in my hand. And then if this gets forced, I will force back pitching a Teferi. Great. Okay, so now I'll put this, and then I'll put Plow on top. +2. Okay. Now we're talking. Granted, I'm stuck on lands, but I can -3 the Tamiyo to regrow the Bowmaster. If I need to. Which I might need to. Frog, okay. Let's get this frog out of here, maybe. This turn will just plus. Because if you can't get a threat down, then having this Tamiyo at 8 is really good. Yeah. This even beats like a Bowmaster. I guess it doesn't beat a Bowmaster in hand. Which I kind of feel is the case. It's -3. And put a Swords to Plowshares in our hand. I'm not ready to get got by a Bowmaster when I'm trying to draw half my deck. There it is. Yep. Okay, let's plow that now. Okay, so I was right. My spidey senses were on. Brainstorm for my opponent. It felt too easy given the amount of cards in hand. Like he was setting up a trap. There's a Tamiyo. So unfortunately I have to plus because otherwise I will just -3 and lose it. So I will go plus away. Okay, so this is a little bit rough for me now. I need to find some lands. Snapcaster plows are gonna hopefully go a long way here. Yep. So yeah, that's see if he cracks now to try to draw a card. Probably. I would. Yep. Another land. Another frog. A Barragoyf or something. There's a Barragoyf I'm playing a Snapcaster as a blocker. Harbinger of the Seas. Still think I'm still playing Snapcaster as a blocker now. Okay, got by days, but that's okay. Stoneforge Mystic. Let's plus Tamiyo to 7. Play a Stoneforge. Get a Cauldra. Yeah. My opponent needs all sorts of removal to get out of this one. Okay. Tamiyo's attacking. Unsurprising. Yeah, it's fine. Harbinger is surprising, but I guess if there's a Bowmaster, there's a Bowmaster. I block in case there's, or say block so that I can find out if there's a Bowmaster. If there's no Bowmaster, then like if this doesn't go through, then there's no Bowmaster. Petty Theft the Tameo, yeah. A little annoying, but activate. Now we get in there. Attack for 5. Okay. So at least have a force of will now. Probably pitching Jace, given how far off I am from doing stuff. And we're just in all-out race mode. Taking 3, but they're drawing a card. Psychic Frog, huh? I don't like that. I'll force it. Another days, okay. Land, fantastic. Okay, so I could snap Plow Frog. And that holds up defense better. I mean, I could Teferi bounce the frog now. I'd have to recast it. I could snap Plow the Frog now to get a blocker for the future. That's what I'm going to do. Snap Plow Frog. So we got Swords to Plowshares. Plow this frog. Just want to know how this goes before I choose how to attack. Goes in my favor, so we'll attack for 6. Because I'm winning this race by quite a bit. And now it's up to my opponent to try to beat me. So these 2 are coming in, that's fine. Just the Tameo's coming in. Nope. Harbinger 2, yeah. They probably want to make this trade, I don't. Okay, so Tameo has flipped, or not flipped, but might flip. They draw sufficiently. Draw a card. Land from the days. What's next? Okay, passing. I add another land. Play it to Teferi. Around days. So Borrower comes in, that's to be expected. I think I bounced the Orc army. I bounced the Harbinger. Yeah, I bounced the Orc army because it doesn't come back. So this forces a trade of the Harbinger plus So if Harbinger blocks Stoneforge Mystic, opponent takes 7 and dies. So opponent has to block the Snapcaster Mage. So because of that, Stoneforge is free to attack. Yep. Opponent goes to 1, and I play a Tamiyo. And that's very cool for me. I think that should do it. I don't see how they get out of this. I mean, famous last words against Batutinia. I should not count my chickens before they hatch. I'm letting the Teferi go down. Keeping the Tamiyo seems important. Brainstorm, yeah. Flips the Tamiyo. But do they find an answer to the Cauldra? Cauldra complete. No, they don't. So cool. I got the match. I'll see you in top 4. Ooh. Alright, so we're back up against our round 1 opponent. On the play, keep it. And I'm going to go Ponder. Try to find interaction. Jace counts interaction. Jace plus land? I don't think so. I think that's not enough right now. Shuffle that. Teferi is better. It's a turn earlier on curve. Okay. Undercity Sewers. Kept on top. Okay, so I will Stoneforge with the Tundra here. And get Cauldra, I suppose. Yeah. Let's be threatening. Now what's opponent to do? Okay, Brainstorm means no Entomb Reanimate. That means looking for a Fatal Push or something, or a Brazen Borrower. You know, something like that. If this Stoneforge gets removed, I will play untapped land before playing the next one. Otherwise, I'm just going to surveil this next turn. So let's activate Stoneforge. Cauldron play. Attack. And then Sewers. I think I want a frog because next turn I can play double frog as one of my potential lines. Thursday and Tomb. But what's coming into play? That's the question. Because if it's, yeah, Archon of Cruelty is fine-ish by me. I might need to unsummon it with Teferi though. Depending upon what opponent finds. Yeah, I guess this is a little bit tenuous here. Because you'd only go to 10 from after this Archon triggers. I probably discard Snapcaster Mage. Or I guess discard one of my frogs, maybe. Yeah. Wasteland. Animate dead? Reanimate. Okay. So I lose the Stoneforge. I will lose a frog. No. Guess I'll discard Snapcaster Mage. I don't see myself having the mana to deal with it. It needs to figure out whether or not to waste me off with black or white. Chose correctly. Yeah, I mean, I just gotta attack. Not getting better for me. Play out the land, so I play around days. But I will have to sacrifice this frog. And then once I sacrifice the frog, I'll probably have to discard the Stoneforge. Yeah. Rough. I think I'm gonna get rid of this Snapcaster Mage in my yard because I feel like it's a liability. The opponent can reanimate it. So I gotta sack the frog, discard Stoneforge. Now, I guess I still really need to draw something good here, like a untapped white source for Teferi. Yeah, that is what I need. The frog is, so it's a lethal attacking frog as well. Okay, Snap Ponder doesn't do it. Pretty dead. I'll try Snap Ponder, I guess. Yeah. Ponder, I'm just gonna scoop if we miss, yeah. We had stuff, but obviously the two lethal attackers are gonna be too much. Okay. So I want the ghost vacuums. That's really about it. I don't really need the prismatic endings. I think that was the only swap I made last time, and it makes sense to me. So it's just that he just won run one off of the Archon. He's gonna see that that's super powerful and want to keep it. Sorry about that. My notepad came up unexpectedly. Let's go into game two. Okay, on the play for game two. Yeah, pretty easy keep, I think. Got a ghost vacuum. Start off with island vacuum. Gonna go into 6. Okay, island vacuum. Vacuum is in. Great. I put what against? What are you doing to me? Thoughtseize? Thoughtseize, okay. So Teferi or Snap. Teferi is the choice. Makes some sense. Just exile the Thoughtseize for good measure. New Teferi, because you can't Thoughtseize the top of the deck. And we'll just play Marshflat's Pass. Because this looks like it could represent black or white mana. If nothing is used, I'm going to fetch a Surveil at end of turn. Probably a blue-black Surveil, since these can both get basic planes. Opponent pondering, chose not to shuffle. Playing Delta, pass. What is it? Tamiyo, okay. Let's get that ponder out of here. I will do it off the sewers. And Tamiyo is good. Yeah, so I'm just gonna Tamiyo fight. I want to play around days. I have time. All the time in the world. Not really, but I have some time. Okay, Tamiyo is attacking, I presume. Yep. No, or technically it's correct to block because they could have a ninjutsu creature. Okay, what we doing? Cycling troll, sure. Ghost Vacuum likes to see that. Undercity sewers. It's being used. And another troll, okay. So I'll do my next Surveil now. Basic planes, no, I don't think so. It'll push Tamiyo, that's fine. So I'll play a Teferi. I'll bounce the clue token just to prevent the draw. It looks like I won't get the chance necessarily, then I'll just plow the Tamiyo now. And redundant white and redundant black with this. Okay. Tamiyo is out of there. Now we're looking pretty good. I've got Snap Plow as well in the arsenal. So whatever opponent has that they can use, I can just get rid of. Draw a card, yeah, not a problem. Get that troll out of here. I'm playing this all out because activating the Ghost Vacuum is going to be good. Maybe. Time goes on long enough. I will exile my own Tamiyo to have a Tamiyo under the Ghost Vacuum. Play a Ponder. Stoneforge, perfect. Probably gets forced. Sure does. Okay. Yep. So I will exile my Stoneforge, and then I'll be able to activate Ghost Vacuum. Put a bunch of fun little creatures into play. The trolls are only going to be 1/1s, which is kind of funny, but yeah. Writing on the wall is written, and we're going into game 3. Maybe I keep only 2 forces now that Ghost Vacuum has taken over the game. They might cut some of the reanimation stuff. Let's try that. Alright, this hand looks very solid. It's got basics of each color. Ponder, okay, so I'm gonna go turn 1 Ghost Vacuum, followed probably by turn 2 Frog. Okay, the Ponder was a long think and no shuffle. So yeah, let's do Ghost Vacuum. It's dazed. Okay. That's fine. And fine is relative, but I'm able to deal with that. Thought sees me, yep. So either take the frog or the brainstorm. I'll do the other one. That's fine too. Just out here saying things are fine. Stuff like that. Right. Plow is taken. Okay. The plow is redrawn, so we're lucky. I'm just gonna slam out this frog. And hope that the fact that I have a surprise Swords to Plowshares is sufficient. Maybe it's like a troll. Or Fatal Push my frog, reanimate my frog. Ponder, okay. Pondering. Chose not to shuffle. Also did not find a land, so full of action. Brainstorm. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so let's put these two on top. Let's Stoneforge up a Formalwear. Because even if Stoneforge dies, I can Formalwear the frog. Maybe I should have kept the brainstorm over the plow, but I think this is fine. If this gets forced, I'm just letting it happen. It'd be too risky to force it, get, the Formalwear and then like get the Formalwear thought seized or something. That would be really, really bad. So I'd much rather, if this gets answered, just let it go. I'll find another threat. Okay, Stoneforge did resolve. Let's go get that Formalwear. Okay. So what's next? Entomb, yeah. Atraxa. To reanimate Atraxa, I'll force that. Hopefully it works. Doesn't work, get dazed. At least I can plow the Atraxa probably. So 10 cards get revealed. All sorts of good stuff. Including a force, so I feel like maybe Atraxa is not going to get plowed so easily. Undersea Sewers, so opponent kept Undersea Sewers Brainstorm Borrower. That's it. All I know is Brainstorm Borrower. Okay. Plow the Atraxa. Hope it works. Oh my god, it worked. And then Tundra. Activate Stoneforge. No reason to walk into a daze. Put Formalwear onto the battlefield. Attach Frog to it. Great. Okay. I'm going to fire off that Brainstorm that they got from Atraxa. And hopefully I'm able to just get things going with this this Psychic Frog. Delta. I'm coming in. Probably means the borrower's bouncing the frog or something like that. So I'll wait until after attacks to do it. Let him commit. I guess I have to decide if I'm attacking with, or if I'm thought seizing now, or if I'm gonna replay frog. Okay. I think I'll replay thought seize because I can equip Formalwear. Yeah, so I'm gonna take animate dead. Then I'll equip the Formalwear here. I'll pass. Opponent's got Troll and a Wasteland. And something else, another land that I just clicked off of. A Delta. Okay. Attack. Play a frog. Pass the turn. Barber coming in. Yep. Unsurprising. Another Surveil coming in for my opponent. That's what I would expect. Yep. See what they get. Thought seize, yeah. They don't want to spend time thought seizing me. Like, it would be good because I have a frog, but they don't know that. Now they probably attack because these are ground pounders. They don't have to jump the frog. So yeah, armor coming in. Yep, totally fine. Okay. Let's attack with both these. Connect. Did great. Drew a land. So I'll play this. I'll play out the frog, and then if it resolves, I'll equip the Pre-War Formalwear to it. Since it didn't resolve, I'll equip it to this one. Okay. Combat. Barber coming in. The 6-mana troll time. Could be. It is. Or it might be, I should say. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Troll of Khazad-dûm. Okay. Well, that made it easy. Let's still surveil first. Another one? Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jace. Bounce the troll. Attack with both. Put my opponent to 4 life. Draw the Jace. That's fine. More bouncy boys is always welcome. I think this should brainstorm. Yep, desperation brainstorm. Put me in a good spot here. Really a real good spot where I win the game. I'm 10 minutes up on my opponent again. Night is going long. It's 2 a.m. now. But hopefully it means I get to play the finals. Okay, opponent's going for something after this brainstorm, long brainstorm resolved. Entomb, perhaps? And to animate dead Emperor bones, huh? Okay. I see where this is going. Okay, yeah, so this is a way to get Jace off the table. Whack me for 6 damage, essentially. Yep. And start combat. Take the troll, you whack me with you whack Jace with the troll. Yep. All seems good. Very exciting. So do you think I win this game? If Troll goes for Jace, I cannot stop that from happening. Jace is dead, Troll is gone. I think they have a ground blocker and an air blocker, but they have no blocker. I have a backup Jace. And the backup Jace should do it. So I can bounce the Emperor and then attack for lethal. Great, got there. On to the finals. Woohoo! See you all for that. The finals, that is. So it's very late, it's 2 a.m., so my opponent and I have decided to split the finals. So we unofficially split, but here's my share of the finals loot. Very cool. I have 25 more chests and half the sale price of Duskmourn coming my way. Yeah, way to go, Esper Stoneblade. 2024, and Stoneblade's still doing it. So yeah, really happy with this. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.